Well, here we are, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret and we're in the grow room, and I'm having some phenomenal growth at the moment, and the only reason I can put that down to is because the sun's lower in the sky, and because we face south, the sun is actually penetrating through our single glazed window, and everything in here thinks it's now summer again. And that's that new growth on the Dendrobium gracilicoli. That's the new growth there on the Dendrobium plicatile. That's the Dendrobium cultivation. That's the one that's got a little bit of rot there. That's the other Phalaenopsis limelight. And if I step back, you'll just see I've just slightly altered it, and you see there that they're all there across the top, and I'm going to be watering these again. Now, I was watering these every 3 days, and I'm getting to the stage now, because of this heat, where I'm going to be watering them every 2 days. See, that's quite dry, and we've got that one there. And then I brought the big Pastoral Innocence here, and if you remember, on the bull's horn hook, I had the big, I think it's, what's it called, Rinco Stylis, Hey Song Tiam Mew. I thought I've got to do something with that. I was just not quite satisfied with it, and but you move one thing, and then you have to move about another dozen plants, and you just think, well, I was only intending to move one plant, but for some reason it involves, like I say, shuffling around. So if I just show you slowly where it actually is now, and you see there now, it's actually here, and it's in this tray. So if I lift this down now, I have to be ever so careful. I don't know what you're seeing while I'm lifting it down, but I do apologise. And then if I come this way, because otherwise I'm going to break my neck. Right. Now, I had this in that open basket, and I wasn't too sure whether this was going to stay hydrated enough. So I've put it in this basket here, in this pot here, and it's weighted down inside this outer black pot. And hopefully now, I mean, we've got a new growth there, and I just checked it before I made the video. I have to be careful because this one, let me see, this one is rather large. You'll see down there there's growing roots there, and you see them, and there's that root there near that white piece of grow stone, and I turn it round. That's how big it is. How big it is. It's enormous. And so that's this new growth here. And that's why I was worried, because this sheath, I think it's a sheath, wasn't extending. And as far as I was aware, I should have been having some, you know, some movement from it. But if I step back now, you'll see how enormous that is. So to accommodate this, I'm going to get up again now. The only way I could do it is to, bear with me, is to shuffle things around, and then find a place, and here we go again, and that's the only place I could find to put it. So It's a bit of a mither, but at least I know it sits in this little tray as well, that it's quite firm up there. And I've put the one of the oncidiums up here. There we go. And of course they're the Hoyas. And just watch myself now because I've got this stepping stone here. And that's the Miltonia Royal Robe. Keep checking that. That's not getting watered today. But then we've got the Dendrobium behind there. That's I wonder if it'll allow me to bring it down. That's the only trouble when you put things out of reach. You've got to be so careful that when you lift things down, you don't knock your pots over. Let's have a look what this one's called. Dendrobium Li Chang E. Miriam. So it's secondum by Samili. And there's the new growth, can you see? And it's that new growth's now sending roots out. There you can see the roots there, and you can also see roots from the mother plant there. And if we turn it over this way, there are roots going down into that sphagnum moss. And I'm going to leave this down because this has got to be watered yet. So I'm fine with that one. While I'm over on this side, just give you a quick look round. Everything's coming along nicely. And even this little lamelatum, and you see that, come on, new little growth there. See, I've got the camera so it won't automatically focus in, I don't believe. And if I walk you over here, I'll show you what's happened over here. Is I've Chi Yinlin. Well, we're going shortly into November, and this was in sphagnum moss. It was in quite a lot of sphagnum moss, and I thought it was about time I just checked it, because it's been in this it has been in that container. I'll show you what I've utilised the container for in a minute, and then it was in this outer bag. So I decided to actually put it in. This is just a big wine glass. It's like one of the other little glasses. So I've sprayed it this morning with calcium and Epsom salts. There's a tiny amount of water down there, because actually the crown sits there. So I don't really want that crown sitting in water. So it's best to have it sat on a piece of styrofoam. And so we'll just have to hope. I don't know why it won't move. I've no idea. I've tried everything. So I'll just have to be patient. I mean, it's dizzy as it is, but I've not found what it wants yet, because as soon as you put it onto something, you should have a reaction within a few days, and I've not had any reaction from this. So, and that's my Thunia bensonii. This is beautiful to the touch, this. It's like silk. And so of course these are the species falls here, Amboyensis, and that's Samira. And at the moment, what is this one? I'll just pick off and show you. I've just had to put the humidifier on because I was 76 and it's gone down to 68 because I was in and out. See? The root growth. There we go. there, there, everywhere. So like I say, when the sun's lower in the sky, it hits this wall here in the morning, and if we turn around, as we move round, you'll see how it's hitting this shelf here. And what did I do here? This is Dusky Maid by BLC, Bruce Randall. And if it'll let me take you slightly in, let it then focus. Let's see if it'll take it. It's not focusing, is it? I don't know why it won't, you know. There. It needs me to go a little bit nearer. So now this one we're looking at now is Brassavola Pink Diamond. And you'll see the nice roots there. And that's in lava rock. Looks to be a little odd piece of bark. So if we go down here now, hoping, I go nearer for you. Ah, that's better. This is in that outer pot now. I had it in a plastic pot which had got holes in, and one of these roots had gone through the hole, and I watched M.E.s Orchids video, and he had trouble removing it from the pot. So I was going to actually video this, but then I realised that if I video it, I might be a bit too nervous, so I didn't, and luckily I just damaged just the very tip. The rest of the root stayed green, and so I've put it just in lava rock and growstone in that outer pot now, and that's where it'll just have to stay. This little one we're looking at here now, it's got some nice green roots, and this is Cattleya Fabaceae. For some reason that latest growth died back. See, there's that Dusky Maid, and got a new growth coming as well. This is the Cattleya Enthe, or whatever you call it, Feng Shui Glory Happy Holiday. So I've brought this up so there's more light. That's the nice big Dendrobium Run Camel. That's now just bare rooted on there. But I've got signs of it accepting that mount. And if we come along here, that's the other one of the pink diamond. And you see? So that's doing quite well. And this is the Dendrobium famosum Myanmar. And this is the one that dropped all its leaves. But this latest growth here, that's doing fine, and it's sending out new roots. So we're doing quite well with that one. And this one, this is that little new one, and this is Cattleya labiata. And so I've put this one here. You'll see how when the sun comes out now. There's that newest growth, you see. Sorry, the newest leaf. Now where did I find that new growth? But the new growth is coming on leaps and bounds as well. Oh, there it is. Take you this way around and then I'll show you. Can you see? Just there. And it's got that nice new green root there as well. And it's quite warm, it's 24.4 now, and of course this is one of my big successes of this year, and this is the Cattleya walkeriana, Vars caerulea, and that root went in round there and came out round here and is still travelling round, and I've got branching roots, and look at these. Absolutely loves it here in this area, and that's my big Laelia purpurata, and I think we've got a new growth coming just the other side there, and of course that's the catasetum. Well, it's the Fred Clark Aria After Dark, Black Pearl mine is, but I'm not so bothered about the markings on the leaves, because I think this maybe is going to be a deciduous one. Let me just take you up here, whether I'll be able to show you with this terrible lighting. This is the Siderea japonica, and you see the green growing tips there, and it's branching out there as well. I can't lift you any higher because the way the sun is, but I utilised that plastic pot there that I had the Phalaenopsis in, and I've put my Dendrobium Polyanthum Cinnamon Premulinum. I've seen plenty of people grow them like that, so I'm hoping that's going to be fine. And that's the Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. If I manage just to pull this one down here, because what I don't really want to do is to disturb anything. This is my Sidendenfinia matrata, and you see, so I've got all those nice roots there, that one there, and it's even sending another one out there as well. So I'll just put that over here so I don't damage it before I put it back. Sorry about that. And we're back on this this front now, so I'll just take it this way, and that's the Vanda, and I think that's the Vanda, yes, Sultana Gold times Dr. Anek. That's been fed and watered, been put in a bucket. That's been fed and watered and bobbed in the bucket. And that one's, this is the one with sphagnum moss, and that's been fed and watered in the bucket. And we'll look at this one, and that's the Phalaenopsis Howardian Princess. So it's in this little crystal vase there, and so that's just adjusting nicely to my environment. And this one here, this is the Phalaenopsis Phalaenopsis cornocervi var Chateladeae. This is the one where I'd lost a few of the growing tips, but what can you do? Sometimes you do damage them, and you just have to hope the branch back. But this gets watered every day, and so I'm really chuffed with that one. And that's the bloom of the Masdevallia, long yellow striped. It'll be another couple of days before that comes out. And if I gently move you round back this way, that's the Scaphoglottis. There we go, doing very nicely. Seems to like that piece of wood. And of course this is the Alicera Samurai, and that's the newest growth. and there's the leaf inside, and those are huge, those leaves. If I stand back, look how big. And of course that's the Hoya, which loves it. Now this one here is the Dendrobium chrysotoxum. Although we've got a little leaf that's dying back there, we've got these nice new roots underneath. There, got these nice new roots underneath. And today I was just checking under here. Don't know if they'll be able to show you. But underneath there, in that mass of mangled roots, they're actually starting to branch. So I'm really thrilled with that one. So if I take you slightly slowly and go down on one knee. These are the Phalaenopsis, and these are the ones that I'm going to be checking in a few minutes and giving them some feed. They seem to be doing very, very well, and that's right down there on that bottom one. And we've got the extension there, and if I slightly turn it round, we've got an extension there. So, and this one here, those were the birthday ones, birthday and retirement, so they're doing very nicely. There. And this one's definitely the one that I rescued from the lady at work, and that's doing exceptionally well. And what did I do with the newcomers under here? That's the Phalaenopsis tetraspis purple. I just elevated them up by putting their pots inside the little glass vase, and I think it's a better visual when you have got them slightly elevated. And that one, and that's the Phalaenopsis young Geigen cherry. Okay, that one, that's doing very nicely. And that's the this is the Phalaenopsis violacea, indigo blue. Look at that. Absolutely. They're like transparent, those leaves. I mean, they're near these lights here. I'm not going to blind you. Because they're on this bottom shelf. But so, you know, they're getting dappled light. They're lovely, those. And that's the Rinco Stylis Gigantica Peach. And it hasn't actually dropped that leaf, so I think might have saved that one, putting it in that tray. That's the Barker Aria. Some of the others there. Oh, I've moved this one here. This is the big Coleogyne Burfordiense with that new growth, because I thought to myself, I wanted that. This was on the top shelf here, and but it's such a big plant. This one is. So I thought, well, it can go on this shelf here, and then when I water and hang those other plastic round containers, then I can just bob this on the floor somewhere. Sorry about that, bit of a jerk then as I just get up. There's all the frags. There's all the frags there. Everything's looking well. We're in that period now of waiting. And as I say, mine have started to grow again, which is so surprising to me. And if I go in here and just stand up here, because of the way the sun's hitting the room, they all think it's summer again. That's that Phalaenopsis sunlight, and that's doing very nicely as well. Just got a little leaf here, just dropping on that Phalaenopsis parisiae. I'm not going to worry about that at this moment in time. I think that's just a natural wastage. So just bring you around actually, nice and slowly around here. just a case now of checking everything, and there we go. This is the lovely Sergio Aria Yukusuku story. And lovely. This loves this little area here. So I'm going to keep that here. That's a no ID nobly, Dendrobium nobly. That's the Phragmipedium Holcogloss. Oh no, Coloba kingii. Just have to watch that leaf. That's due for a water and feed. And that's the one that flowered earlier for me. What did I call it? Got a name on it somewhere. Well, it was originally called the Camaridium praestans. But that's a big plant, you see. Just sits in there nicely. Oh, and this one here. This is the Dendrobium adae. This was slow to accept this. I call him the boy. But look, I've got a growth there, and I've got green roots coming there, and I've got green roots actually now coming out in the roots there. Can you see? And I've got another new growth there. So at last, now I'm going to get up again. So I'm going to. Just jerk. Oh, you might wonder why I've got that clip on there. It's doing it no harm because I've taken it off, but it's just to keep it back like the others. And that's the nice big Cru Momentum. Doing very well. That's the Phaeus Tankenvillia. And that's my no ID Phragmipedium. We think it's Schroederi, and that was a tiny little cutting 2 or 3 years back. So, oh, what have we got down here? That's a Hoya. That's another section of the Chrysotoxum. And that one is, and that's just a no idea. I think that's Spring Dreamer pollen. Tie you up here. That big one there. Here, that's the Orchids falcata. This is the Angraecum, of course. And that nice big one there. Look at the size of the cane. And that's the Dendrobium pendulum. And that's my Lutifolium with a new growth there, and in the far corner is the Gomze Lecco. So I'll bid you all farewell now because it's going to cut out, and until next time, thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye bye now.